So Alshon Jeffery is out for the year. It's just Nelson. Who the hell knows when he's going to be ready to play? I doubt the Eagles will go get Antonio Brown, but I gotta tell you, I feel pretty good. Am I the only one out there who actually feels more confident in letting the young, unproven guys play than any of these veteran wide receivers?
So everybody ain't doing anything back here. So today we come with the big ass story. Dallas still stinks.
Everybody do it! King Ding back here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. By now, I know you've heard the news that Alshon Jeffery is going to go to the IR. We are going to lose him for the season. And here's how I see it when it comes to Alshon Jeffery. He's been about 50% all year. If that. He has been hurt since week 2 versus Atlanta. He has not looked right. He's looked slow. He looks... sometimes to me, he looks like he doesn't even want to be there. He barely could walk to the huddle. He just don't look right, okay? So Alshon Jeffery, he's hurt. I think he had like 43 receptions all year. He's going to the IR, and we've been dealing with a hurt Alshon Jeffery all year. And look, Alshon Jeffery is a big physical receiver. He is already not fast. Okay, now when you're 50% and you're playing with a bad ankle, bad foot, whatever it is, you're going to be even slower than usual. And that's what we got from him. He's been a slow wide receiver all year. And definitely the chemistry between him and Carson Wentz is not there. You see it in the long ball. It's just not there. And Alshon got hurt against the Giants. He goes out. Then you have Greg Ward Jr., Arcega-Whiteside, Joshua Perkins, even Boston Scott was playing running back. These young guys come in. These young, unproven guys come in, and they want to play, and they want a chance. They want a chance to prove themselves, and they all made great plays. And I thought they brought a certain hunger to this team that has been absent for weeks and weeks and weeks, especially Boston Scott and the spark that he gave us. And I think the respect that they have for Carson Wentz, there's nobody challenging him as a leader or wishing they had another quarterback. These guys just wanted to go out and play for him, and it made a huge, huge impact. So, look, the obvious thing to do right now with Alshon Jeffery being hurt is to go out and sign Antonio Brown. It's the smart thing to do. Top 3 wide receiver in the league when playing. He's out there. Go get him. So what? You sign him, and then they put him on the exempt list. You can't use him. At least you tried. But I mean, what the hell? Take a chance. Maybe they let him go. Maybe they wait to suspend him after 3-4 weeks down. You know what I mean? But take a chance. But they're not going to do that. The Eagles aren't going to do it because if they wanted Antonio Brown, they would have done it a long time ago. So with Alshon Jeffery out, the Eagles are going to have to add another wide receiver. With it's just Nelson hurt, and believe me, you can't count on him anyways. Okay? I would consider not even playing him the rest of the year anyways. But he may not be able to go, so you may need to bring up 2 receivers to the active roster before the Redskins game. Where they're going to go, I don't know. One guy I know they're not going to get is Jordan Matthews. Jordan Matthews signed with the San Francisco 49ers again. So he is now back with the 49ers. For how long, who the hell knows. But he can't be signed by the Eagles. Thank God. I am glad. I don't want him back. I think that's a mistake. If you're not going to get Antonio Brown, okay, if you're not going to get Antonio Brown, I think there's one thing the Eagles should do. And I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this because I think that the Eagles have made some mistakes when it has come to the roster. I think if you go back to the spring and you go back to preseason and you go back and you look at some of the guys who were having the best springs, the best training camps, the best preseasons, these are guys that the Eagles haven't played. They haven't played. And it's been very, very confusing. And then you saw Greg Ward Jr. get some playing time. You saw Boston Scott getting playing time. Both guys that were standouts during spring and preseason. And all of a sudden, they're showing that they can play. Where's Deshaun Hall? Why isn't he getting a chance to play? He only led the league in sacks during preseason. Give him a chance. Put him out there. You know what I mean? Marken Michel, I thought, was the best receiver that they had in preseason. They cut him. They cut him, and they just recently brought him back, okay? So when I look at this Eagles team, and I looked at, you see Alshon out, you see Nelson out, you're probably not going to bring in an Antonio Brown, that kind of guy. The only thing left to do is bring up some practice squad guys. You got to bring them up. And let me tell you something. There are 3 guys that I like, all 3 of them. And here's why I like them. Because they're all fast. They all could run. And I think I would give at least 2 of them a chance. Okay, the first guy I think you need to bring up is Marken Michel. Marken Michel is definitely been a guy who stood out all. We heard a lot about him during the spring. We heard a lot about him in preseason. We saw him make a big play in preseason. Coaches loved him by all accounts. The guy can run. He can move. Bring him up. Bring him up and give him a chance. Give him a chance. I like Marken Michel. I think a lot of people did. The other guy I want to talk about is Robert Davis, okay? Robert Davis was drafted, I think, in 2017. I forget what round with the Redskins, but he was drafted by the Redskins, maybe 4th, 5th, 6th round, somewhere like that. Nate Sudfeld played with him. He said this guy is in phenomenal shape. He's a freak athlete, freak wide receiver, freak talent. The guy is 6'3", 210 pounds. He runs a 4.4, okay? If you want to see him in action, check out Dwayne Haskins' first touchdown pass of 55 yards in this preseason. It was to Robert Davis. Robert Davis is a freak athlete. He has tons of upside. And what I like about him, what I like about all these guys, is they're fast. They got speed. They can get vertical. That's what we need. For whatever reason, we have the slowest guys on our active roster, and we got a lot of fast guys on our practice squad. It's time to bring these guys up, okay? So Robert Davis is another guy that the Eagles could bring up. The Redskins cut him. He cleared waivers. He signed with the Eagles in October. I would consider giving this kid a chance. I would personally bring him and Marken Michel. I'd bring them both up. I would leave Nelson Aguilar alone. I would just leave him alone, even if he can go. I'm not going to lie to you. I have more confidence in rookies, in guys off the practice squad, than I have in Nelson. It's just Nelson Aguilar. Even in Alshon, 50% Alshon Jeffery, because he's not 100%. But I got to tell you, there's a certain energy, there's a certain pop, you know what I mean? Pop, that these guys have. I mean, they brought a lot of energy, and I think it's the hunger. I think that they're hungry, that they want to prove themselves, that they have talent, and that they were good. They were good in spring. They were good in preseason. They were good all season. And we didn't give them a proper chance because we're so fixated on names and older guys and making sure that we don't do anything new, that we're missing out on some young talent getting up and playing. I say bring these guys up. I have more confidence, and I swear, maybe I'm nuts, but I have more confidence if you tell me my starting wide receivers are going to be Marken Michel, Greg Ward Jr., and Robert Davis than Alshon Jeffery, Nelson Aguilar, and Arthega Whiteside, or Mac Hollins, how it's been all year. I have more confidence in those young guys because they got something to prove. They want to play, and I know this. Those guys have speed, especially Robert Davis. He has speed. Another guy I think is Marcus Green, and this kid, he's 5'8". Okay, he's a wide receiver. He runs a 4.39. He's electric, and he can do punt returns and kickoff returns. He came over from the Atlanta Falcons. We signed him onto our practice squad. He's another guy you could bring up. He's got speed. Marken Michel's got speed. Robert Davis, they got speed, and we need some of that. We need some of that on this team, and I think those guys coming in, playing with Carson Wentz, will do whatever he says. They will buy into Carson Wentz. They're not going to be crying about Nick Foles. We're not going to have that problem. And I think that the Eagles are actually better off giving some of these young guys a chance than going with what we had, the veterans we had. Well, I mean, it doesn't even matter now because you're losing Alshon Jeffery for the year, and you don't have Deshaun Jackson. Then the only guy you have left is just Nelson. We know he needs to be at least the fourth option. Otherwise, he stinks. He stinks. And that's the truth. So, to me, it's time to bring these guys up or get some real balls. Get some low-hanging balls, you know what I mean? Wreck some cars, hit it into some things, and get Antonio Brown. What are you scared of? What are you scared of? Bring him up for 3 games. What the hell? I bet you could bring Antonio Brown in right now. I bet you could bring him in right now, give him about 5 plays to be ready to do, and have him do it over and over again, and he'll win every time. He'll get open every time. And then when Carson scrambles and it's improvising, and Carson's running around like this, you know what I mean? Antonio Brown, he knows that. He can feel that. He is maybe the best wide receiver ever, one of the best ever, at basically knowing where to go when your quarterback's in trouble and getting open. So, I mean, that's really the smartest move, but they're not going to do it. So, if you're not going to do it, bring up these young guys. Bring them up. I want to see Robert Davis. I want to see Marken Michel. Let these guys play. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I have more confidence in them than Mac Hollins, Nelson Aguilar, and Alshon Jeffery than I had in those guys, because those guys didn't do anything all year for us. They were getting killed every week. And when I talk about Alshon Jeffery, I'm not talking about 2017 Alshon Jeffery. I'm talking about a guy who's 50%. He's not healthy. He wasn't healthy all year. And I respect that he tries to tough it out, but it wasn't helping. It wasn't helping. It's time to give the young guys a chance, because they provide an energy and a hunger that we haven't seen, and I'm willing to give them a chance. With that said, take care, talk to you later, and don't be a dingbat.